I was leader of the team for about a week. My specialty was the quarterback sneak. I was sacked and attacked, my bags were packed when I got the word in the form of a bird. Let's get on now.
Welcome to the Married with Picks podcast, season 6, episode 9, week 9. All right, Steve, we're what, halfway through now, almost, at the end of this week. So last week was a good week if you had the stomach to make some of the plays. The Jets and the Texans both ended up winning those games. And there was a lot of talk about how the favorites were 12-2 against the spread. But what nobody mentions is that the public was all over the dogs last week. So that's where the difference comes in. All right, week 9, we have 4 teams on bye: the Browns, the Jets, the Eagles, and the Bucks. First game up is Falcons at Patriots. Patriots are 5.5-point favorites. Now, you know I'm a big fan of the Patriots, but this is a spot play for me. Falcons last week laid an egg as a heavy favorite, right? And I mentioned it last week that they're much better as a dog. So as long as it's Michael Penix at quarterback, which I believe it is going to be, I'm going to take the points with the Falcons. Although I do hope the Patriots still win.
Why was Cousins starting? Did they make a move? Because
Penix was hurt.
Okay, I'm just making sure he was hurt, not going to be on a flip-flop or the yo-yo if he's not hurt. So you like the Falcons? The thing I don't like about the Falcons here is I like your thought and the flipping back and recover with Penix being the quarterback, but they are going to New England, which is a dome team going on the road. Atlanta's 0-7 their last 7 versus New England. They're 4-10-1 against the spread in their last 15.
The 28.
And New England's 5-0 against the spread in their last 5. New England's hot against the spread. So I want to take the Patriots here. I like them a lot, actually, because I don't think the Falcons are going to be a good road team outside of the dome in a little bit of chilly weather. I mean, it's not going to be too cold. But the Patriots are playing good football here, 6-2 ahead of the AFC East. I think they're going to continue
when was the last time the
ways.
Patriots lost?
It's been a while.
Yeah. They're due.
When is the last time that they lost? How many have they won in a row? The last time they lost was against the Steelers, 21-14, week 3.
Week 3.
So they've got 5 wins in a row.
Yeah. It's a lot of wins in a row.
Yeah, and their 2 losses have come at him.
So
they lost to the Raiders week 1.
And this is a team. I asked you before. I don't have any more tissues.
I know.
Okay. All right.
It's cold outside.
Moving on. Next game is the Panthers at the Packers. Packers are 13.5-point favorites. I took the Panthers last week. It didn't work out so well. Turns out that Andy Dalton broke his thumb on the second series of the game. So we still have Bryce Young, who is dealing with an ankle issue. He was a full participant at practice. That would be as of Thursday. I ain't touching this one. Ain't touching it with a 10-foot pole. The Packers coming off the big win over Aaron Rodgers, and they do play the Eagles next week. So this could certainly be a spot where they're looking ahead and looking past an inferior opponent. But with the line that big, I ain't touching it.
It's funny. It's the exact same thought I had. I was just worried about the line being so big, but it has adjusted down. I'm seeing 12.5 now. I know when we printed this 13.5.
I checked it before I came up here on FanDuel. It was still 13.5.
13.5?
Yeah. I
see some 13.5. FanDuel does say 13.5, but there's a bunch of 12.5s on here too. So we'll see what the line does. I think it's too many points as well. Green Bay's 1-4 against the spread in their last 5. And they are playing at home, but like you said, it's a look-ahead game. I wouldn't go crazy on this game. It's just not a good game in my mind to play. It could go either way. But if I had to take it, I would go Panthers and just take the points.
All right. So the next game is the Broncos at the Texans. Texans are 1.5-point favorites. And I really love the Broncos in this spot. But the Broncos are 6-2 on the season. Texans 3-4. I don't know why the Texans are favored in this game. The Texans won last week. That line was questionable. And this line is questionable. 83% of the bets, 82% of the money are on the Broncos as a dog. Okay? So, I think on paper, these two teams against each other, the Broncos are clearly the better team. Texans have a horrible offensive line. Broncos are best in the league at getting pressure on a quarterback, but with only rushing 4. I don't see how the Texans are going to win this game. I want to take the Broncos, but this line and where the money's at has me seriously concerned. So while I like the Broncos, I think the play is the Texans, and I'm not really sure what I'm going to do with this game yet.
This is a weird one, right? Like, you look at this, you think Broncos all day.
Exactly.
So I'm a little scared.
So maybe I should just say there is no way that the Texans win this game. Because as soon as you say that, it means it happens. So that's what we're going to do.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything at. I mean, I feel exactly the same way about this game. I do have Broncos selected as a pick, but again, there's better games on the card.
All right, so next game is the Chargers at the Titans. Chargers are 8.5-point favorites. Chargers got their offensive lineman back last week and got back on track. I don't see any reason to not keep picking against the Titans, but this is another situation where 89% of the bets, 88% of the money is on the Chargers. It's a big line. It could be like a garbage time type thing where maybe the Titans get back in it. I don't think I will actually put any money on this game.
It's another one of my notes. I don't love it, but if you're going to take it, I think you got to go against Chargers. We're on the same page. 90% of the public, from what I saw, was on the Chargers. They're 1-4 in their last 5 against the spread. So, I mean, you look at this game, how can you like the Titans, right? But It's one of those backdoor fills. I'm actually going to take the Titans here. I like the Titans.
Yeah, I'd say throw this in a teaser. I don't know
they're
what
sitting
else.
at home. Chargers got to come all the way from west to east coast. So there is definitely a look here for the Titans to keep it within the 9. I got 9.5 as a line.
All right, next game is the Bears at the Bengals. Bears, right before we came up here, Bears are 2.5-point favorites. Now, Joe Flacco is suffering with a shoulder issue. I think it's an AC joint in the shoulder of his throwing arm. If it is Flacco, I would take the Bengals. We saw the Bengals have 0 defense in their game last week against the Jets, which that was another one. And in addition, their best defensive player, Trey Hendrickson, got hurt last week. I don't believe he is playing this week. The Bears will certainly be able to score. Hopefully, and what I read before I came up here is that absent a setback, Joe Flacco is going to start. So normally they should be able to keep up at least. So I'm going to go with the Bengals. The shoulder thing has me a little bit worried, but
I like the Bengals home dog getting 3 points. Bears coming off the win, but I like the Bengals in this one.
All right, next game is the Colts at the Steelers. This is up to Colts -3.5. Now, Steelers coming off 2 losses in a row. Everybody talking about how bad and old the Steelers defense is. Colts obviously still winning. And this is one where I feel like the public is going to be on the Colts right now. 73% of the bets, 74% of the money on the Colts. So this is just kind of another spot play for me where I feel like the play is the Steelers in this one.
Are you looking at my paper? No. I like the Steelers here too. Another home dog. They're getting 3 points. Pittsburgh 7-3 against the spread in their last 10 at home. Indy notoriously plays bad in Pittsburgh. They're 4-16, 4 wins, 16 losses in their last 20 in Pittsburgh. So being that they're getting the points, only 4 wins in their last 20 historically, I'm going to go Steelers here. I think Aaron Rodgers should start to heat up as he gets more comfortable in this offense. Remember, this is the first year that he's been playing with Pittsburgh, and he hasn't looked that bad. He's put up some big numbers in some of these games, but I expect them to continue to get better. Remember, you got DK Metcalf, who's an absolute stud. So once they get more on the same page, I mean, Rodgers' best ball is deep. And DK Metcalf is one of the best deep threats in the NFL. So
we never talked about that one game where he threw the ball at the end and he threw it like 70 yards.
Yeah. I mean, he still got the cannon, right?
He had a smile on his face after he did it too, like he knew.
Yeah, he's like, pretty cool. Got it.
All right, so
need somebody to run under that thing.
Same side of that one. Next game is the 49ers at the Giants. 49ers are 2.5-point favorites. They are coming off their bad loss at the Texans last week. Giants lost their running back, Cam Scatterboo, during the Eagles game. I am not 100% who the starting quarterback is going to be for the 49ers. It looks like Purdy is technically on the injured report as questionable. So I don't know if he has a shot to play. Earlier in the week when I did this, which was probably Thursday, it looked like it was going to be Mac Jones. I'm not 100% on that. I actually prefer Mac Jones at this point. But I will take the 49ers in this one.
All right, so this is where the rubber meets the road. This is where we're going to differ. I like the Giants here. I think that they're going to be rally around the loss of Cam Scatterboo. I think Tracy's a good replacement. Like, Tracy is underrated because Scatterboo has been like the leader of the team and kind of helped get this moxie of the Giants together and get a couple of wins this year. They look a lot stronger. So I do like that leadership, and I think that's a lot to make up in the locker room. But not that Tracy's going to take over and be the leader of the team now. I think Dart is the one, right? The quarterback, the rookie quarterback, seems to be able to play into that role with Scatterboo. Now that Scatterboo's gone, he'll step up a little bit more. But Tracy, the running back out of Iowa, is still a very strong runner. I think the Giants, this is going to be one of those games where I think the public will look for the 49ers, but the Giants are going to be, I look for the Giants to win straight up here. Another road dog, home dog. There's a lot of home dogs here. So okay. I would take the Giants for sure.
All right, different sides of that one. Next game is the Vikings at the Lions. Lions are 8.5-point favorites. And this is the only division game this week. Is that weird that there's only one?
That is weird.
So I personally am going to miss Carson Wentz. So Carson Wentz is now out for the season with I believe it's a shoulder issue. And it was fun having Carson Wentz back in the league because it was very easy just to bet against him. So now we're not going to be able to do that. I guess it is going to be J.J. McCarthy back at quarterback. Lions are coming off the bye week. I looked up to see what Campbell's record was coming off the bye, and I think it's actually like 1-1-1. So not necessarily impressive there. I definitely like the Lions in this, but this is another situation where 88% of the bets and 88% of the money is on the Lions. So perhaps a little bit of concern there, but I don't think it's going to stop me on this one.
I'm going to take the Lions. I think with J.J. McCarthy coming back, he's going to need like a game or two to kind of get into a flow. If you remember when he was playing, he looked really bad most of the game and then brought them back a couple. Yeah, I'm not really that impressed with him so far. So he's not that he's not going to be good, but remember, he's a rookie. And even though he could be probably better than Carson Wentz, let's be honest, Carson Wentz has a lot of experience and did move that Vikings team up and down the field. They just had a tough time in the red zone scoring touchdowns. So, the Lions are a high-powered offense. They did have some
injuries on the offensive line too. So.
Who's that? The Vikings?
Yeah.
No, it's even more trouble. I take the Lions. It's -8.5. Look for a double-digit win from the Detroit team.
All right. Next game is the Saints at the Rams. Rams are 14.5-point favorites at this point. The Saints are going to be starting their rookie Tyler Slow. I don't even know how you say it. Slow. I don't know. Shough.
Shlomo.
This is
just
the
Saints quarterback, Shlomo.
The Rams are coming off the bye, but this is just a lot of points, and I certainly don't trust Sean McVay as a big favorite because he's not very aggressive, and he will take his foot off the gas if he feels he's got a comfortable lead. So I'm not going to touch this game.
Tyler Show. He's a second round.
Oh, you made it sound so much easier
from Louisville to
say.
Yeah, well, that's
Show?
what happens.
Is that
when
what you say?
Speak English.
Yeah. Okay.
Show.
Sounds
me
about right.
the money. All right, so he's the second round pick from Louisville. This is his first start. It's got disaster written all over it against the Rams defense. That's 14.5. It probably should be 24.5. Let's take the.
You gonna take the Rams at 14.5?
Yeah, Saints on the road.
Okay.
What's this guy gonna do?
I don't know, but it's a big line with Sean McVay.
It's a lot of points.
That's what I think. All right, next game is the Jags at the Raiders. Jags are now 2.5-point favorites. Now, personally, I am not a fan of the Jags. I think Trevor Lawrence sucks. Raiders have been very, very bad this season. They are coming off of the bye week. They will get Brock Bowers back. Pete Carroll, actually, in his last 4 years where he was actually in the league coaching, he's 0-4 off of a bye. But this is just a total spot play, and it's not a comfortable play, but I would have to take the Raiders in this spot, and I might actually make that bet.
I like the Raiders too. Another home dog. I mean, there's a lot of home dogs here. Jags -3 on the road. I think you got to take the Raiders, right? Both teams are coming off a bye, so they've had enough time to prepare. I think that plays into Pete Carroll in this situation. I know that you said that he's not good coming off the bye.
Oh, you listened for once.
Historically. However, I think because the Raiders have been struggling so much, he does have a little bit more support in the Raiders building that hopefully can get him over maybe some of those things that he wasn't doing during the week, like self-scouting. I know Tom Brady's in the building.
Where's Tom Brady's influence?
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm sure Tom Brady is, discussing the whole self-scout thing with the coach and the rest of the staff there in, I almost said Oakland, but in Las Vegas. So I think, it's going to be a tough game to probably watch, but I'll take the Raiders.
Yeah, it's a tough game to watch for sure. Any game involving Trevor Lawrence is a tough game to watch.
Yeah.
All right, so the next game is the Chiefs at the Bills. Chiefs are 1.5-point favorites. This is probably the game of the week, and this is a 4:00 game. Now, normally in this matchup, I would ask one simple question. Is it the regular season or the playoffs? Because if it's the regular season, you take the Bills. And if it's the playoffs, you take the Chiefs. But this line is not right. So I definitely feel like Vegas is begging me to take the Bills. And it's working because right now 66% of the bets and 77% of the money is on the Bills as a home dog. So I am taking the Chiefs all day.
So I know the Chiefs have gotten some key members back, right? I think Pacheco's out, though.
The Chiefs are back, baby.
But Pacheco's out, so Hunt's getting the start, which is not necessarily a bad thing. Hunt runs hard. And Rice is back at receiver. But everybody's got that storyline that the Chiefs are back. And I don't know. They're playing better than they were.
Oh, and they're so going to be back this week after they beat the Bills. For sure.
To me, this is I'm going to go. I know that the Bills have kind of won the last couple of games in the regular season against the Chiefs, but for me, this is the buck the trend game. The Bills are 1-4 against the spread in their last 5 games. So buck that trend of 1-4 against the spread. With them being a home dog, I like them to win the game by a 3-point game. So which means they will cover. The Chiefs are 1-2 away from home this year, so they've struggled a little bit on the road. They've lost to the Chargers 21-27. They also lost to the Jags 31-28.
The Chargers, that was in Mexico or wherever.
Oh, was that away? Place? That was in Brazil. Yeah, it was the Brazil game, wasn't it?
Yeah.
All right, I'll take the Bills.
All right, I'm on the Chiefs.
You want to bet on that one? It's a big game.
No, I don't, because Vegas is begging, and I'm going to do it, but I'm not going to have you jinx it. Sorry.
No, wait. In that case, would I be the jinx or would you be the jinx?
No, you would be. Me betting you would be the jinx.
Yeah, you're the jinx.
Okay, fine. I'm the jinx, but I'm not getting jinxed by myself. All right, so now we're into the Sunday night game. Seahawks at Commanders. It sounds like Jaden Daniels will be back at quarterback for the Commanders. Terry McLaurin is back out again, though. The Seahawks are coming off of a bye week. They were on a roll prior, racking up the wins. So this was just another spot play for me. I think the public is going to be all over the Seahawks. The Commanders looked very bad in their primetime matchup against the Chiefs. That was obviously Mariota at quarterback. So I think the play here is just to take the points with the Commanders.
All right, so say it with me. Marcus Mariota sucks. All right, so let's not judge the Redskins or the Commanders off anything that they look like with Marcus Mariota. Even without Terry McLaurin, even without Scary Terry, this is a different team with Jaden Daniels at quarterback.
I think Ertz is he's questionable.
All right, well, that's not good if he doesn't play because they need Ertz. They need a tight end that's going to make plays. But Seattle in their last 5 against the spread are 1-4 against Washington. That's versus Washington. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to take the Commanders here. I think you gotta see Jaden Daniels. Like, it's time for him after that great rookie campaign to come and step up and make some noise here. This is where if Jaden Daniels is the real deal at home on Sunday night, a 3-point dog, that he needs to step up and win this game. So I don't see that they can go any other way. I'm going Commanders.
Okay, same side of that one. All right, and then the final game is the Monday night game. This is the Cardinals at the Cowboys. Cowboys are 3-point favorites. Cardinals are coming off the bye. I believe it will be Kyler Murray back at quarterback. The Cowboys defense is horrible, so I can certainly see the Cardinals being able to score here. Dak is on a roll, specifically at home. And he's 2-0 in prime time this year in games, 13-0 in his career as a favorite in prime time. I really did like the Cowboys here, but this is another one. And right now it's 70% of the bets, 55% of the money is on Dallas. But the fact that this is a Monday night game has me seriously worried about taking the Cowboys here. So I would definitely keep your eye on the money splits on this one. And in general, how Vegas has fared in the rest of the games this week. Because if they're down, I always feel like Monday night is their chance to get their money back. So,
well, shout out to the Arizona Cardinals. Not this Arizona Cardinals. Jake and Brady are twin boys. Arizona Cardinals just won the flag football championship today. So shout out to those guys. But that is not going to be what happens on Monday night with the Cardinals coming to Dallas. I don't see the Cardinals really even putting up a big fight here. Dallas is only 2.5-point favorites.
It's up to 3.
It's up to 3, but it's coming off that loss last week. They looked horrible, but they're on the road. It looks like the Cowboys are not going to be that strong on the road, but they're a different team at home. I think Dak rallies the troops and puts some big numbers up here against the Cardinals defense. I think Jonathan Gannon's in trouble in this one. The Cowboys bounce back, take the win, cover the 3, look for a 7 to 10 point win.
Okay. All right. I like the Cowboys too, but it worries me.
We're on the same side of a lot of these games this week. So I think the theme of today is when you're getting ready to place whatever, play your card, look at the home dogs. Look for the home dogs. There's going to be a lot of home dog covers.
Okay, we shall see. All right, that'll do it for us for week 9. We're a little late getting this one out this week because of Halloween yesterday. But if you're watching, like and subscribe, and we'll see you back here next week.
Peace out. I'm on Ross St. Brown.
Oh, we didn't mention your shirt.
You like that?